Welcome back. It's been a while. I'm sorry about the fact that it's taken so long to make this video. There's no specific reason for it other than the fact that life sometimes gets in the way of doing the things that we really like. This is one of those. Updates. I'm almost done retooling the shop here. I got a little bit of painting to finish. Actually, yes, there is something that's gonna be new. I'm going to start working on an outside welding area. That's besides over here, and that's gonna be about. I'm just gonna it's like a 10 by 20 area that I'm gonna dedicate for this, and I'll be able to do any type of welding because getting the place in next month is gonna be rewired, so I'll have the electric service I need for to finish what putting it all together. So there's gonna be a lot more space. I'm looking forward to that. I'm sorry, I got this down like this. Let me see if I can move this. There we go. So like I was saying, wow, it just seems sometimes, I'm sorry, sometimes it just feels like, there we go, like it just doesn't. We got a new camera. This is what, a Canon. So hopefully I'll be able to do higher quality videos. I'm going to look for a lavalier microphone. That means one of those lapel microphones, wireless. I've seen them that are like less than $20 or something like that online. So what has changed? Well, aside from very small incremental steps that I have taken to improve the place, I've gotten some new equipment for the radio portion. As you probably know, I have in one of these cabinets a radio cabinet that amounts to being my Radio Shack. Margret got her ham license. I finally got my ham license after, oh my God, I think that the last time that I held a license, ham license, was back in the 80s, and back then I took the test and I didn't do anything with it. As much as I love talking on the radio, I just got stuck with the CB radios. Now I finally got I finally jumped into the ham frequencies. I got my technicians, and now I'm going for next month coming up. I'm going for my next license up. There's only 3 stages to a ham license, which is your technician, your general, and your advanced. So now I'm going for my general, and hopefully somewhere between this year and next I'll go for my advanced. I'm not being greedy or anything like that. It's just that, why not? I can pass the test, so I'm going for it. So today, what I want to do today is I got one of these ryobis. I heard a lot of these people out on the net doing reconditioning these batteries. They say that if you shock the battery, it will start taking a charge again. Now, knowing a little bit of this stuff, I agree with it. Yes, because sometimes with limiting your ability to actually charge these batteries is the actual architecture of the battery itself. Now I already took the screws off of this. So this is how this looks. Now if you this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oops, I gotta go get that because my what I always make sure that I do is that when I am in the shop, whatever I drop, I pick up immediately, no matter what I'm doing, because when you don't, you lose it. No question about it. Back to this. This here has five what's the name of these batteries? These are very common. It escapes me. Old age. The thing is that if you go and you buy them separately, you can probably get the batteries for cheaper than the $35–40 that they charge in the store for this. Now, this has a major fallacy that when one of the cells starts going, the rest of them, the system has this here. This has a tolerance programmed into that IC right there, and that tolerance, when the voltage falls within below that tolerance, it says, okay, that's it. This battery pack has had it, and for whatever reason, and you can actually store these batteries for maybe a week or so, and the discharge rate, because it does discharge no matter what they say, the discharge rate is so that it may fall below that threshold, and now you got a battery that won't charge. You put it in the charger, it tells you, game over. So what you do is that you the whole theory is that you take this, you go to the two main leads, this one here and this one here. This is the positive, of course, and this is the negative. I've seen some people take a drill to this, not open the case, just drill a hole to this and through here and charge it like that. Just you put something like, I don't know, I would put something like along the lines of 1/2 amp, and by putting 1/2 an amp into this, you are shock charging the pack itself. I'm gonna leave the board intact and just go straight to the two leads. Put 0.1 amps into this, and then just go for 30-second increments. I'm gonna start with 10 seconds, 10-second increments, and then test it and see if it goes above that threshold. If this is not clear enough, please feel free to just drop a line below and tell me where is it that I'm not explaining this clearly, because I'm not a really good teacher, and I never set out to do I'm trying to improve that. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to be a little bit more useful to you, and in give you important information. I mean, what is information if it doesn't move? So what I wanted to do here is I'm going to bring my power pack. Well, it's a whole thing. It's one of these. I hate to say it like this. It's a Chinese manufactured solder station. It's an all-in-one package. I'll be right back. Here we go. $18.50. I think 18650 are the batteries. Now we go back down here. Right there. Okay, like I was saying, I really don't need this meter because this has one built in. But this is what I'm talking about. This has a SMD rework, a solder, as you can see here. It has a tester from 0 to 15 volt DC power, so that way you can do all your testing that way. So it's a really nice station. You can adjust all of the voltages necessary to and the temperature settings, and so you can adjust it however you want. I've used this for now about a year, and it's worked for me just absolutely incredibly good. So now what I'm going to use this today is to provide the voltage necessary to charge the battery, shock charge it. This is a big difference. I'm not going to charge it because once I shock charge the battery with enough to go over that threshold that the circuit is looking for, once I go to that point, then I put it on the charger, and the whole thing is that it should actually start taking a charge again. So let's do that. I'll be right back. I'm going to connect all of this, and we're back. Alright, this is what's going on in here. I got my power. I have it set for 0.7 volts, and the amperage is very negligible. What I'm doing is taking this up, and I got my it's at a steady temperature. It has not risen. I keep checking because you don't want this to overheat. The minute this circuitry overheats, you're in trouble. So the theory is that we take this up all the way up to 12 volts, which 12 volts is supposed to be the threshold voltage that the charger will recognize. So as I'm going up, taking the voltage up to 12 volts, I'm checking the temperature, making sure that there is the board is not overheating, that it's not going to blow anything up, because you have to be careful with these things. Never trust anything like this. You have to take this just with very carefully, very thoughtfully. So now I'm going to increase the voltage to 0.8, and again I'm going to test the temperature. The temperature is steady. I mean, it has not gone up, which is a good thing. Cool electronics or happy electronics. I know you noticed this. This is the Q1. I have the Q1 and the Q3. I'm going to make a video of this alongside with a revised EDC, because as it should be, your EDC should be always evolving, because sometimes they say that just because it's the latest, it's not the greatest, but more often than not, it is. So you following your own instincts, you can tell when a piece of your equipment is going to be the one thing that you always needed. In my case, when I started putting together my EDC, my if you want to call it my EDC philosophy, was that I wanted to get everything that was pen shaped, and so far I have succeeded in that, because I do pack my EDC in my purse, and you don't want to be walking around with something like this. But I digress. This is not an EDC video. This is the video in which we bring this guy back to life, and I think that the next video is going to be my EDC, because the last time I did an EDC video, I think it was about a year ago, and a lot has been added and subtracted. So here we go. I'm going to take one lead off, check the voltage. I'm getting 7.740. It seems like it's dropping. I'm not sure what's going on here. About 7 volts. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue putting. I got 8 volts into it. Once it reaches somewhere around 10 volts, I'm going to see how stable, how long it holds the charge. Again, I know that a lot of people can do this a lot quicker. I'm not other people. My way is the one that will keep you alive, and with the minimum amount of risk, because there are 2 pieces of electronic here: your charger and the object that's being charged. Either one of these, being by virtue of being electronic in nature, either one of these could blow up. Don't take this very lightly. I have actually been injured by electronic devices, and it hurts. It really does hurt. So I'm checking over here, just making sure that everything is cool. I got 8 volts going in. Let's stabilize the voltage here. Again, when it reaches 12 volts, that's when we'll just zip it up, put it in the charger, see if it recognizes the charge. I'm pretty sure that it will. So I'm going to pause here. Okay, so now we're back. Okay, this is what's happening here. I progressively, I started with 3 volts, and I worked my way up to now it's 12.2 volts. Now I surpassed that threshold that the charger will except in I'm still checking the temperature. Now there's no temperature increase. Um, because of the way that this has been discharging, what I intend to do now is to give it a few more minutes, actually a few more seconds, and go get one of the screws, put the top back on this, and quickly throw it into the charger. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take it off and quickly put it back together. Now, what's happening here is that I think that the charger is losing the battery, that is. Battery is losing a little bit of cohesion, and that's to be expected. So I'm not gonna take any chances. I'm gonna just like run quick to the charger, and we'll be back on the next segment. Okay, now we're back to the charger. Look at that. According to the chart that you see to the right, this is actually taking a charge. So as you can see, I had a little sign on the top of the battery that said that this was junk, and I was gonna throw it away, but I knew that doing that would be such a waste. I mean, it just took me just a couple of hours, and I wasn't even here for the entirety of it. I would just go put it on charge for a little while. I was thinking somewhere around 3 minutes each time, and then I would come back and increase the voltage, do all the checks, and start all over again until I worked up to 12 volts. So now is taking the charge. We'll be back and see. Now, before I started this, just so to recap right quick, before I started this, there was zero voltage. I got the battery like that. I have to confess, I got this at one of these yard sales. I paid $5 for it. I took a chance because I knew that I would be able to bring it back if anything. So there we are. It's taking the charge. We'll be back when it's fully charged, and we're gonna run it through the testing. Okay, so we're back. Now this is what happened so far. I put it back in the charger, and it began to give me thermal problems. Now, are we gonna get past that? I don't know yet. I got it cooling down a little bit. Hopefully it'll cool down enough so I can do it again. Let's try it. Let's see what it'll say. Nope. Back up with the thermal problem. I'm starting to doubt whether this is gonna actually work. The only way to find out is to just keep trying. Now, let's see what happens over here. What will this? Oh, now I should be putting this back on the. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna have to go back on the tripod. This deal is not working like this. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Okay, so Let's see what it's telling me. It's telling me that it's got 18.35. What would that mean? Would it mean that it'll run something? Let's find out. This guy loves these batteries. No. Wonder why? Why is it doing that? Let's see. On a normal basis, this is telling me that this is packing 19 volts. Not actually 19. This is supposed to be 18. Why is it telling me that it's 19? This, on the other hand, is reporting 1832. What gives? 1832. Okay, let's just make a few theories here. Theory 1, it's the board. Theory 2, I think it's the board. Theory 3, yeah, I'm almost sure it's the board. Now, when the board goes, sometimes you can troubleshoot it by finding physical signs of damage. This did not have any physical signs of damage. When that happens, usually the culprit is the integrated circuit chip, the IC chip. There's one in here. I'm pretty sure that if I were hypothetically to take the whole thing apart, I would find that there's a hole underneath the IC chip. It's happened before. I wouldn't be surprised. This thing is heating up like you wouldn't believe. I'm going to test it again and see what happens. I'm going to see when it cools back down to see what is how fast the voltage drops. Like I said, the voltage right now is 1829. I think there's a small possibility that this battery can still be saved. So we'll get back. We'll be back as soon as I let this thing cool down. Okay, and we're back. I'm sorry about the movement of the camera. I just need to make sure that we are in focus here. I got the battery back. Take a look at this. I'm going to. Here we go. Oh yeah. Let's make a video about cleaning the shop. No, I'm just kidding. It works. Want to know what all that noise is? Look at the little plug that I have for JD. When we got this house, the backyard was completely unusable. I don't think anybody wanted to buy this house because of the backyard. The backyard was it had 12 gigantic trees. You couldn't put anything back there. You couldn't do anything back there because they were staggered, and I really couldn't do anything over there. So for 3 years we searched for a tree service. 3 years. And then we found this guy. He came highly recommended by our next door. Now, I'm not advocating. I'm not plugging next door, but sometimes they are really useful. So, thanks to next door, we were able to find James King. And if you are in the area and you need something of this magnitude or even less than this, because this is an extreme situation, please contact him. Really, I am so impressed that I give my full seal of approval. 2 thumbs up. Yes. So now we brought it back. We brought back the battery. This was basically a $40 battery I got for $5 in a garage sale. All I had to do was do a little bit of work on it, and we saved it. So stay tuned. Our next video is gonna be about the EDC. Now, just as a preamble, just think about this. We really don't walk around with a bag full of tools, and I certainly don't like doing that. And it's sort of like this really weird imbalance where I'm always fixing things. I'm always tinkering with things, and at the same time you need tools to do that. So how is it that you're going to be a maker, not have tools? So that's why I thought that having tools that were shaped like pens, come in handy, because I could put it on a gridded, one of those griddeds, and I do have a gridded. Put it on a gridded, and still have enough tools to make you dangerous, and not walk around with a purse full of tools. Now, I have one of those small expeditions and all of that stuff, but it still doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel natural to just be walking around with a tool bag, and that's the compromise that I made with myself. I said I think that I need to find a solution, 21st century solution for an age-old problem. Now, you guys out there, I'm sure that you can just like put all of these tools all around your belt and look like Batman, but we don't like doing that. When I go out in outfits that got flowers and stuff like that, and I look ridiculous with a tool belt attached to myself, or knives and things like that. I know, but that was a compromise. So now I don't want to give out too much about the next video, because I'm going to try to sketch it out, so that way it's not like all ad lib. I do all of my videos ad libs. Margret, oh, congratulations to Margret. She got her hand license, and we're gonna step it up again, because I've been slacking out on the videos. So we're back on the saddle, and catch us in the next video. Bye.